Good evening, and thank you for joining us. We begin today with breaking news. Jarrison Stepanski has pled guilty to a lesser charge of manslaughter in relation to the death of Amy Lewis. The surprise plea came during the first day of a pretrial, which was scheduled to last 2 weeks. There is still no word on where Lewis's body is or exactly how she died. The 23-year-old nursing student was reported missing in June of 2012. Her friends were last in contact with her on the night of June the 11th. Sometime between then and June the 15th, Stepanski met Lewis at the Park Lane Motel, where her vehicle was later discovered. Records of text messages and email conversations showed the two arranged to meet at that location. Lewis was never heard from or seen again. Sarah Krause was in court for the proceedings this afternoon. And Sarah, what was the emotion in the courtroom today?
Stepanski's sister was crying before anyone even entered the courtroom. Accompanied by her other brother, she let out an audible cry when the defendant entered a guilty plea. Stepanski himself was clean-shaven and dressed all in black. He fought back tears as he answered the judge's questions, only looking back into the crowd once at his sister. Meanwhile, there were almost 30 Lewis supporters in the packed courtroom. Now, some of them were dabbing at their eyes while others hugged. Lewis's uncle Raymond Strong says the family was sad today as the process dredged up a lot of old memories, but they were helping each other to grieve. Inspector Mott says he's tried to put himself in the shoes of the Strong family, and he's disappointed Stepanski didn't reveal more.
I can't imagine what they're going through, and I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful that at the end of the day, when this is all said and done, that they will know and have some closure to the location of her body. Again, I'm hopeful that that will still happen.
Now, Sarah, what does Stepanski have to gain by not telling police where Lewis's body is?
Michael, it's very unclear at this point whether locating the body could potentially change the charges, even after a guilty plea. Inspector Mott says he doesn't want to speculate on what could happen in the future, and neither the Crown prosecutor nor the defense lawyer were interested in speaking today. Now, the original charge Stepanski was facing in today's pretrial was second-degree murder, but it was downgraded in the plea. Inspector Mott says that's because they were conducting an investigation without a body. He says without that physical evidence to test theories on, the case is extremely difficult. However, he adds it was satisfying to see the defendant take responsibility for his involvement.
The number one thing is that an individual that was responsible was located and charged, and then now today has admitted their involvement in her slaying. And from that perspective, as a police service, we're certainly gratified by that.
Now, this isn't over yet. Tomorrow, the sentencing hearing will begin at 10 o'clock, and we're expecting to hear victim impact statements as well as arguments from each lawyer. Michael?
All right, Sarah. Thank you very much. 2 men accused in the 3 deaths of people from Castor are to appear in court today in Red Deer.